Hi there, Generosers. Welcome back to the YouTube. Today, we're going to be looking at the scariest things that actually happened in school. Now, as this video goes on, they get more and more scary and crazy. So make sure you stick around to the end to see the last one. You are not going to believe it. Before we start, guys, I just want to point this out. Of all of you brilliant people that watch my videos, only 30.5% of you are subscribed. Now, that has gone up, but I would like to get that to 100%. So if you watch my videos and you enjoy them, then please do subscribe and become a member of the channel. Okay, so we're starting off with the tame ones. So we've got 80% of students have experienced this. Injection day. Only 80%. So 20% of kids didn't experience this. 2 in 3 children have a phobia of needles. Wow. 1 in 4 never grow out of their fear. Wow, I did not know that. I mean, I was scared of needles when I was a kid, but I'm not scared of them now. No. You know, because I'm a man. Ha! Okay, not that scary. 66% of people have had this experience, getting rejected by your crush. It may be scary in the moment, but it's better than not asking at all. I have actually never experienced that because I was too scared to ask. That was the thing. I was too scared to ask, so I never went through the rejection. In hindsight, that's not the best way to do it. It's better to just ask your crush. Anyway, we move on. Next one. 55% of kids have experienced being shouted at by the head teacher. You must have definitely done something bad for this to happen. I have not experienced that because I was a little goody two-shoes in school. I don't know what it is about the head teacher, but for some reason, just because they're the head, it makes it way worse when you get told off by them because you're like, oh my God, they really know what they're talking about. They're like the god of all teachers. That never happened to me. If a teacher shouted at me, I would have probably cried. Okay, they're getting scarier. 50% of students have experienced this. A broken bone. Try to look at the bright side. You probably won't have to go to school for a while. That is true. I've never broken a bone in my body. Touch wood. That's never happened to me, and I hope it never does. I mean, even if it did happen now, I wouldn't have to go to school anyway, because I left school 7 years ago. 46% of people have experienced a student having a seizure in class. Wow, I have not experienced that. Cushion their head, loosen their tie, and try talking to them calmly. Don't go, wake up! Stop doing this! No, I've never experienced that. I've never seen anyone have a seizure, actually, and I don't want to. 40% of students have experienced dissecting animals. This is a very common practice in American schools. What animal did you dissect? Well, I didn't go to an American school. I went to a UK school. We didn't ever dissect any animals in class, but I remember when I was going to my secondary school to see if, to walk around the school to see if it was a school my parents wanted to send me to, they had a dissected rat, and I thought that was awesome. I don't know, I was a weird child. 38% of people have experienced being accused of cheating. Did you know that 95% of students confess to cheating at some point? Oh, okay. When I said cheating, I thought they meant in a relationship, but they're talking about in a test. I don't think I have ever cheated in a test, actually. I think the only time I ever have done was one that didn't count towards my real exam. It was one that was on a computer, and it was just a school test. And because I was on a computer, I just open another Google tab and search the answer. But yeah, it didn't count towards my final grade, so does it really matter? 34% of people have experienced showering after gym class. Why is that scary? No cubicles and no privacy. Everyone can see you standing there, clothless and cold. I don't think I've ever been to a shower that doesn't have cubicles. They've always had cubicles so people don't see me naked. But yeah, that does sound pretty bad. I'm glad I haven't gone through that, especially in school. What if you've got a creepy teacher? 32% of students have experienced ripping your pants. Points, stares, and giggles behind your back are all signs that this has happened. Oh my God. Luckily, that's never happened to me either. Actually, no, that has happened to me. Oh my God, yes, this has happened to me. And I do remember the points, the stares, and the giggles. It's bad. My trousers were just a little bit too tight, and I tried bending down to pick up my pen, and it was just a clean rip near my arsehole. Oh God, that was not good. That was not a good day. 30% of students have experienced the teacher bullying one kid. That does actually happen. You'll get a teacher that just doesn't like one child in particular, and they'll just keep picking on them. It is infuriating that some of the teachers that abuse power get to keep their job. Yeah, it's not fair, is it? It is not fair. It's crazy that even teachers can bully people. 28% of kids have experienced needing to poop at school. I did this every week, sometimes every day. It got to a point where, yeah, it was scary, but eventually it's you just get used to it. You man up. And you sit in the cubicle with a door that barely locks, and you look around, and for some reason you can't pull the toilet paper out, so you're like, great, I'm stuck here with a shitty ass and no toilet paper. You get some of the older boys climbing over the cubicle staring at you going, oh, he's doing a shitty school. It's experiences like that that really harden you as a student. 27% of students have experienced getting lost on a school trip. Better find your way back quick before the bus leaves. It's funny. As an adult, the thought of getting lost doesn't scare me now because I have my phone, I can call my mum. No, if I get lost, I'm pretty sure I can find my way. But when you're a kid, it's the scariest thing ever because you don't know anything about the world. But yeah, no, I've never been lost on a school trip. Let me know in the comments, guys, have you ever been lost on a school trip? Don't forget, guys, these get more and more scary and crazy as the list goes on. You are not going to believe the last one. 25% of students have experienced crying in front of everyone. You're going to be known as the wimpy kid or baby for the rest of your days. Oh my god, yes. That was not me, luckily, but we did have some kids in my school that were like that. And they would just cry for no reason. And it's just like, why crying? 20% of students have experienced a lunchtime fight club. What? What kind of schools were these guys going to? More drama than anything in the UFC or WWE. That sounds great. That doesn't sound scary at all, unless you were one of the ones fighting. That sounds amazing. Okay, 18% of students have experienced this, forced to do solo singing. That sounds horrible. The overly enthusiastic music teacher clearly didn't read the room. I am so glad my music teacher never made me do that. I think I would just refuse. If the teacher said, right, guys, everyone quiet down. Jake's going to do a little sing-song for us now. I think I would just burst into tears or leave the room. 16.5% of students have experienced your parents being called into school. Okay, luckily this never happened to me because I just hated getting told off. But the quote here, it says, I'm black, but hearing my mum's voice made me turn as white as a ghost. Yeah, to be fair, hearing your parents' voice in school would be a bit haunting, wouldn't it? Like, why the hell are you here with me? You must have done something pretty bad to get your parents called into school. 15% of students have experienced bathroom lock being stuck. No, I have not experienced that. The bathroom locks were always shit in my school. They didn't even lock in the first place. And then the fire alarm starts ringing. Instant panic. Oh my god. If you imagine you were stuck in the bathroom and the fire alarm went off. Everyone's been like, where's Jake? Oh, he's just burning inside. Yeah. At least he went out doing a shit. 14% of students have experienced an earthquake. Wow. Luckily, we don't have this in UK schools. You know what? This video is making me realise how lucky we actually have it in the UK. We don't have earthquakes. If this happens, don't forget to duck, cover, and hold beneath your desk. Imagine you're in like maths or something and the whole class just starts just rumbling. That would be scary. And the teacher's like, right, everyone get down under your desk. That would be so scary. But it's only going to get scarier. 13% of students have experienced faking a sick note and being found out. Your parents could end up in serious trouble for this too. Wow, I didn't know that. I've never faked a sick note. I've definitely faked being sick. We didn't really do sick notes in my school. But yeah, the amount of times I would pull a sickie because I didn't want to go in that day. I missed so many days of school. But then we've all done that, haven't we? 12% of students have experienced being stabbed by a compass. No, that hasn't happened to me. But I do remember a student stabbing my teacher with a compass. Oh my god, he got shouted at so much. 10.5% of students have experienced a school fire. Nope, never experienced that either. They're always just drills or somebody setting the fire alarm off because they just want to be funny. When you think it's a test and then you see smoke, scary or exciting? I actually think it would be kind of exciting. I think it would be both. I think it would be scary and exciting. Because part of me would be thinking, oh my god, I hope everyone's all right, nobody's dying. And the other part of me would be thinking, I hope we get to go home now. 9.6% of students have experienced a missing person in their school. Wow, that would be scary. 840,000 children go missing every year. Normally, they show up again quickly. That is a really large number. I did not expect it to be that many kids go missing. Luckily, most of them show back up, but some of them don't, and that is... well, it's scary, isn't it? 9% of students have experienced intimate pictures leaked. Well, there you go, kids. Don't send pictures of your penis or your boobs. Or both. You might have both. This just breaks that person's trust and self-esteem. Yeah, and if the pictures are out there, they're out there forever. Not ideal. 8% of students have experienced being caught with banned substances. 60% of high school students said that drugs are freely available in their school. Freely available? What, the teachers just give them out, do they? 7.5% of students have experienced cockroaches in canteen food. 420,000 people die from unsafe food each year. If you're unsure, don't eat it. Imagine you get in your school dinners and the lunch lady just piles a load of shit on your plate and there's just a dead cockroach in it. Oh, that is horrible. 7% of students have experienced being stalked by a creepy kid. Oh my god. Is the creepy kid Henry by any chance? If somebody is stalking you or being creepy, make sure to let the principal know. What if the principal is the one stalking you? 6.5% of students have experienced peeing their pants in class. Well, it's better than pooing yourself. No, I swear, it's the desk that's leaking. Have I weed myself in school? I think I have, but only because I've laughed so much. My friends made me laugh so much that a little bit of pee came out. But nothing crazy. It wasn't dripping down my leg. 6% of students have experienced coming out at a Christian school. The fact that they are not accepted by their religion is so unfair. That is unfair, and that is very scary. I can see why that's in this video. 5.5% of students have experienced a rat infestation. There are around 50 different species of rats across the globe. Oh, imagine rats being in your school. You're just sitting there in your chair and all of a sudden a rat runs across the room and you go, ah! To be fair, I don't mind rats that much. If it's spiders though, I'd be out. Oh my god. Guys, these are just getting worse and worse. Honestly, you are not going to believe the last one. 5% of students have experienced being spied on in the bathroom. By who? When you're just trying to do your business and somebody pokes their head over. Oh god, you just really hope it's not a teacher, don't you? You just hope to God it's not a teacher. 4% of students have experienced a teacher having a mental breakdown. Okay, it's one thing a student having a seizure or a mental breakdown, but if a teacher has it, what do? This is always sad to watch, especially if a student provoked it. I do definitely remember some teachers getting really pissed off, and yeah, sometimes they would cry. Nothing to do with me, it would always be to do with a group of kids in my class that would just be horrible. 3.5% of students have experienced a school lockdown. Terrifying if you know it's not a drill. Is there a shooter in the school? Oh my god. Again, I'm so glad I went to a school in the UK. It's only after leaving school that I realized how good we actually had it. I'm so glad guns are illegal in the UK. That is insane. You should not be worried about the school going into lockdown. You shouldn't be worried about that if you're a student. Oh my god. 3% of students have experienced a dead animal in their locker. Who put it there? A psychopath? What the hell? About 10 times worse if it crawled in there before summer break. Oh yeah, that would really stink as well, wouldn't it? Oh, that would be horrible. 2.5% of students have experienced getting a swirly head in the toilet. Even though schools are supposed to be safe spaces for kids, this stuff still happens. So a swirly head is when bullies basically grab you by your legs, lift you up, and dunk your head in the toilet, and then flush it. That just sounds so bad. Imagine if you'd just gone in there as well. Oh, that is grim. And I'm glad to say I've never experienced that, and I don't want to either. I'd be very surprised if any of you guys have experienced that. Let me know in the comments if you have. 1.5% of students have experienced an imposter teacher. So somebody came in pretending to be the teacher when they weren't. That is scary. 1.5%. Teachers wear lanyards around their necks so people don't sneak into classrooms. I guess that is why. I never really thought about that. That is the reason they wear lanyards. It's like identification. So you don't get imposter teachers. What the hell? 1% of students have experienced being expelled. The main reason for being expelled is bad behavior, usually due to a tough home. That is crazy. I do know of a few kids that were expelled from my school. One of them was a kid who would go around stealing things when everyone was doing PE. He'd go into the boys' changing rooms and steal stuff out of people's bags. And he would steal watches and phones and things. And he got expelled for that. And rightly so. 0.5% of students have experienced a loose snake. These are just getting crazy. A 4th grade kid was bitten by a venomous snake when he arrived at school. Oh my god, was he alright? Why was there a loose venomous snake running around? What the hell? Oh god, this is scary. 0.3% of students have experienced a classmate killing themselves. If this happens, please seek professional help. The trauma can be overwhelming for many. Luckily, I have never experienced that, and I'm glad I didn't. That is insane. That is very scary. I hope none of you guys have experienced that either. 0.2% of students have experienced being crushed by a vending machine. Really, 0.2%? That still feels like it would be millions of kids that have been crushed by a vending machine. Never ever rock the machine if food gets stuck. Ask an adult. Yeah, but how else are you meant to get your food? 0.15% of students have experienced being raided by thieves. What, just a group of thieves break into the school? Happens at night usually for things like PCs, wires, and documents. Creepy. Let me know in the comments, guys. Has your school been burgled? 0.1% of students have experienced their fingers cut off in a door. If you're not careful, this can lead to a serious injury. There's got to be some heavy door or somebody at the other end really slamming the door to have your fingers. Fingers? Oh my god. 0.05% of students have experienced finding a dead body. The poor student was rolled in gym mats. The case still remains cold. What? Rolled in gym mats? What, so it was just in the PE cupboard or whatever? Oh my god, that is scary. That is kind of chilling, actually, isn't it? See, I told you these would get scarier. 0.02% of students have experienced kidnapping. About 74% of non-family abductions happen to young girls. What? They're kidnapped from school? I guess that would happen, wouldn't it, after school is finished, when everybody's like walking home. Oh my god. It just makes me feel weird. Like, why would you want to kidnap a child that isn't yours? 0.01% of students have experienced being infiltrated by a cult. Well, that's certainly weird. A Polish school was shut down for running a behavior modification program. I wonder what the cult was doing. I want to know, who were they trying to hurt? I want to join. No, I'm just kidding. 0.005% of students have experienced finding old grenades in their school. Unexploded ordnance is often found in ex-war zones. Okay, what? So the school was built on an ex-war zone and a kid found a live grenade in their school. Oh my god. He's just going, oh my god. That would be one story to tell, wouldn't it? If the bomb disposal squad came into your school one day because your friend Timmy found a grenade. 0.003% of students have experienced the school bus being ambushed. A school bus in Yemen was hit by an airstrike, leaving 40 kids injured. I hope none of them were killed either. Why was it attacked? That is insane. God, that is so scary. That is literally like something out of a film. That is unbelievable. 0.002% of students have experienced accidentally killing someone. At least as a kid, you won't be charged as an adult's courtroom. God, to think that that's actually happened, I wonder how that accidentally happened. How does that even happen? 0.001% of students have experienced giving birth on a school trip. Why are you pregnant in school for a start? And why are you going on a school trip if you're that far pregnant? A Dutch girl gave birth to a baby girl during one of her field trips. Imagine she's at like Thorpe Park. She's just on stealth. And the baby's born. Oh, that could not be worse timing, could it? Okay, we've made it to the last two. You're not going to believe them, guys. Okay, it says the baby's dad was a teacher. Oh my god. So the baby that was born on the school trip, that baby's dad was actually a teacher. Oh, that is so weird. I don't know how to feel about that. Oh, jokes aside, the police need to get involved straight away. I hope that teacher is no longer teaching and in prison. What the actual That is so messed up. And that is not even the worst one, guys. We have not made it to the scariest one yet. The last one, the 0.000001% of students have experienced is being crucified in class. What on earth? A Nigerian school tied kids to crosses and beat them just for being late. Huh? What? That is the weirdest thing. I wonder if that's even like allowed in Nigeria. Like, were those Nigerian teachers punished for that? Do they go to prison? Or is the Nigerian government like, yeah, that's fine, that's normal. Those kids deserve that. Like, what the hell? That is so weird. Oh my god. Right, well, I told you. It gets scarier. I don't really know what to do with myself now, but that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know what you want to see me do in the next video. Before we go, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!